is up, BassGeek Nation? Man, the nation is strong. That's my State of the Union address. We have been growing like a weed. And, you know, man, it's just awesome. We are back out today. We're over in Virginia, up in the mountains where this old country boy grew up. We are fishing top secret Lake P. Now listen guys, this is a small public lake. I keep it secret because I love it in the summer. It fishes like a Tennessee River lake, got a lot of gizzard shad in it, a lot of threadfin, and they get out on the ledges, just a smaller version of ledges like they do, but there ain't that many schools like that. So I try to protect them because, you know, I don't care about some guys taking some fish, but you hit some of these schools with some minnows, and, you know, we ain't talking about mega schools. We're talking about mini schools. All right, listen, let's get in the boat. We'll talk about the day. All right, guys, so basically here's what we've got. We're going to be out today. Literally, I've got 3 rods on the deck. This lake is a little cooler than the lakes a little farther south that I fish in the TN. So what I'm going to be doing really today is, again, we're going to be looking for bedders, we're going to be looking for spawners and pre-spawners. If we get lucky, maybe, you know, we'll find some comers and goers, you know, some spots where they stage coming and going, coming to spawn, leaving from spawning. We're definitely going to be starting out, we're going to be flipping, we're going to be throwing Senkos or stick baits. Actually, I've got my color, the Madden gill that my boy Madden come up here and stroked them on me when we were here last year. Now we're here a little bit later, so I don't know what they might be. We might even throw some floating worms, but if you look at my rigs right now, I've got a wacky rig, I've got a Texas rig, so weedless, weightless, and then I've got a flipping stick with a grunt on them. So that's where we're going to get started. Let's do this. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how clear this water is. Look, that's before. Remember I talked to you about my amber SolarBats? That's after. In the shade, low light. Look at that. All right, we're gonna start off with our wacky, not tobacco, just our wacky rig this morning. This is a weedless trocar. Now the thing about these fish is they can spawn very, very deep. All right, numero uno. Guys, big shout out to my boys, Eco. If you have not seen the Eco nets, and I'm telling you, you know, I seen Mikey Balls talk about this and I was dying to try it. This is a clear net. I'm telling you, the fish, I don't know I'm sure they can see it, but they do not run from this net at all. Fish number 1. Good healthy little fish. I got him in the tongue though. We're gonna have to get him back in there. So there we go. Fish number 1. We're gonna get him back in real quick. I think he was on the bed. Beautiful little largemouth. Oh, yep, that's a male. He's peeing. All right, so we got one in the boat, and now I want to tell you about the conditions of the day. So right now, today is a beautiful day. Got a little bit of a late start. Had some electronics issues. Come to find out, one of my power cables had pulled loose from my main unit. And so I wasn't getting any power to my Helix 10 SI. Now, I went into one of the coves. I've spent some time with some fish on the bed. Come in a little too close on him, but I know where they're at. These fish are extremely spooky on this lake. A lot of times you can't sight fish them unless they are super, super locked. But we're gonna come back and we'll throw a worm at him from a distance. Got him marked, know where he's at. So the conditions today, this is gonna be some summertime weather. I'm in shorts. I got some water shoes on. Man, it is a wonderful, wonderful day. Now, water clarity is about 10 to 15 feet. As I showed you earlier, it's crazy clear. That being said, we're gonna go flip this bunch of stuff back here. It's normally a pretty good spot to catch some bedders that are laying in between the logs. So the air temp when we started out this morning was awesome, 62 degrees. The water temp about the same, 62 degrees. So perfect for these bedding largemouth. Again, going to get up to about 80 today. So it's going to be a beautiful day on the water. This is the first real warm day that I've got to go fishing this year. We've had a few, but I've been in the office every single time. So I can't wait. Hopefully we're going to put a few more than that one in the boat. I'm not going to promise any giants. We're just going to go fishing. Let's see what we can do. Well, we went flipping and that was a waste of time and a waste of money. I broke my favorite flipping stick. I can't say anything really bad about that. That is a Carbon Light 2, a Bass Pro Johnny Morris Carbon Light 2. Guys, it's really been great. I've had it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And, you know, if you've seen any of the videos where I go flipping, I tend to load and lay the wood to them. So, you know, it finally gave way. Set the hook on a log. Sometimes that happens, but, you know, that's fishing. And part of fishing is having to buy new stuff. So I guess we'll be upgrading the flipping stick. Anyway, like I said, I found 2 definite beds. This one had a female sitting with them, but you know, he just wasn't having it. So right now we're going to pick up the stick baits, the Stinko style baits, and we're gonna cast and cover water. And you know, these fish on this lake, this water's so clear that, you know, it's really hard to get to sight fish these fish. A lot of times you have to find them, mark them, come back, then throw to them. But at the same time, I've not found any real quality that I'm going to spend a lot of time on. You know, that female, she might have been 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds if she was lucky. So, and the male, you know, he 1.5 pounds if he was lucky. So, you know, I'm just not going to waste a lot of time on them. If they seem real, you know, aggressive. We'll see what we can do, but other than that, I just ain't gonna waste time on those types of fish. All right, let's head on up the lake and see what we can find. That says it all right there. Oh, that says it all. Didn't even get it on film. Little, nope, that's largemouth. Yep, little largy. It has been a crappy day. Ooh, boy, he took off at 100 miles an hour. Well, and I'm telling you, dude, we need to load up. Like, in all seriousness, we need to set the trip to Chick. Like, I'm dead serious on going. Come on, little buddy, hit it. Well, we'll go down there and do a little practicing. Oh, there he is. I finally got you. Tiny little largemouth. All right, guys, so this is the third time I've been by, and you can see the huge, huge fish. I mean, look at how big that is, guys. Look at it. That is massive that I'm sight fishing for today, because nothing else is biting. Alright guys, so far halfway through the day, it has been a really tough grind of a day. Fish everywhere, man. I'm seeing all kinds of small fish. I'm seeing some bedding fish. This is the first time I've been on this lake, like I told you earlier. Probably about a year, about a half year, 6 months. End of last summer. So the thing of it is, what I'm kind of finding right now is that we're probably on the tail end of the spawn. You know, probably post-spawn, tail end of the spawn. A lot of small fish up, even small females. I've seen some small females and who aren't even committed. They're kind of up near the bed, and the male is kind of guarding the bed and trying to corral the females. But it's really not been, you know, I'm not seeing any big fish. I'd say this is probably the end of the spawn, excuse me, on this lake. And it's just tough, man. It's just tough when it gets like that on this lake. You know, fish are up shallow. They're, you know, the water's super clear, and these fish are, they live deep. They're deep almost year round, but because there's just not, you know, you got clear water and no real cover up shallow. So when these fish come up shallow, they are, especially on a day like today when it's, you know, pretty high sky and not a lot of clouds, they are super duper sketchy. So you can throw a Cinco in and literally make it not make a sound or splash at all, and they'll run from it like something just ate them. So you really have to be stealthy about it, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. Actually, I'm going to go back down. I found a couple fish that were locked on the beds. This is just going to be a dink fest, you know. I'm just going to go try and catch a couple more. I thought about putting a camera in, but these fish are so sketchy when it comes to, you know, anything out of the ordinary being there. I just wonder how hard it'd be. And like I said, the males are pretty dead set on these two beds, so it'll be catching the males. The females are off just in the deeper water, and you can see them swimming around. So they're not up on the bed yet. Like I said, I figure this is probably the last wave on this. But the good news is, once this is over and we start getting some good warm weather, hopefully like we're getting right now, they go deep. And that's when the fun on this lake really begins. Doing it right at that right away. There we go. How did he come off? Wow. Yes! Holy cow! What a battle. A beautiful bass. You can tell that line gets darker and darker as you piss them off more and more. Again, not giants, but it is fun to, it's fun. The females are not committed yet. The females are just off, and I've threw I don't know how much stuff to try and get them to bite, and they will not bite. I can't see this fish. Oh yeah, he 5:30. He's locked. Oh, there he is. Boy, it didn't take him long. No. Come on, sweetheart. Oh, come on. Boy, he's a fighter. This is a little better one. There we go. Yeah, that's a good male. All right, guys, that's a little better male. Maybe one of the better ones we caught today. That is where we're going to end it. Right there. We're going to put him right back on his bed. He did not take long to bite at all. All right, guys, so let's talk about what went on today. I was sight fishing. I resorted to sight fishing because nothing else was working. So what was going on today, you would see bunches of fish just suspended. And when I say suspended, I don't mean on the graph. I mean, they would be in the middle of a creek over 25 foot of water, and they'd be 8 of them, and they'd just be 6 inches deep. Generally on this lake, when you see that sort of thing, it means they are either warming themselves up to move up on the bed, or they've already been on the bed and they're just kind of chillaxing, getting better, feeling better, eating stuff when they want to. But on this lake, they're super, super sketchy. Like, you know, it's 15 foot clear today, easy. And when they move up shallow, there's really no cover for them. So they're super sketchy when they move up on the beds on this lake. So you throw a worm in, and if they ain't on the bed, like if you'd see them, seen a ton of cruisers. I'd throw a worm out in front of them, and you know, they done knew I was there. I mean, even, you know, the only two ways you're going to generally catch them is blind casting and hoping that they're there, or, you know, doing what I did today, which is sight fishing. Now, I know you guys are going to have a ton of questions about sight fishing. I sight fished a little bit different, and it's because, you know, it was all males. There would be females setting off, but it was all, you know, rinky-dink, 1, 2, 2.5, 2.25 pound males that were on the bed that I was seeing. I mean, the females that were pulling up, and that's why I think this is the end of the spawn, is because the females would be setting back. I could actually see them setting off. They just had not committed yet. So what I was doing was just, you know, the only fish that I was really going to have a shot at catching was that male that was committed to that bed. So I'd catch him, of course, I'd put him right back. Guys, that's something that I'm big on. You know, if you're going to sight fish, if you're going to bed fish, put them right back. This is not the time to get you holding 4 bass. Listen, I do that all the time. I'm good with that. Not during the spawn. So, not during the spawn. This is not the time to get the glory shot. Put them back. If you ain't in a tournament, put them back, let them go back to the bed, let them do their song and dance, all right? So let's talk about what I was doing sight fishing. It was a 2-prong approach. So what I had, and what seemed to be getting the most agitated, was I had a green pumpkin, Texas rigged Senko. Now, I wanted the Senko because of the rate of fall. I had a flick shake rigged Madden-gill, which is the new color that me and Richard come out with. That's what we caught the first fish on. And, you know, the difference between those worms, and there's uses for everything, guys. Everything is a tool. I tell you all the time, listen, I love Richard. I love Richard's baits, and I'll use them all the time. But sometimes one bait, even though if it's the same type, has a little different use than the other. Now, Richard's, you know, his float. So you've really got to put to adjust the sink rate, you have to put either a heavy duty hook in, or you have to put some sort of weight, a belly weight or whatever. And, you know, to get it to fall. So what I want with the Senko is something that's going to fall a little faster than that Bass Munitions GT stick. Now, so the GT stick is great in super shallow water. The Bass Senko is great, you know, out a little bit deeper. And then what else I was using today is a Man's, and it was weightless, and I'm going to do a review on this. This is an amazing worm. So these are the things that I had on, was a Man's, I think it's called Springer worm, something like that. I'm going to do a review on that. I don't know that you guys have ever seen it, but it is an amazing worm. Now, it's a little heavier, it's a little different, but it is also another tool that you can use. So I had all that lined up, plus I had a Ned rig, and plus I had a flipping rod rigged up, and I also broke my flipping rod today. So the big thing about what I was doing, because it was small fish, is I was just rotating through those baits. What seemed to end up getting the bite in the end, I had a Crusie bug, and I had it in watermelon black flake. But then, I don't know the actual name of it. You know, it'll be up here somewhere. What really seemed to get them fired up was kind of like the Texas crawl version. So it had the orange back and the green pumpkin front. Switched to that. That was, most of the time, that was the finishing tool. Now, some of them took a little more work. And the key to it is, guys, hit those fish. Don't foul hook them, but hit those fish. Throw it in there, bounce it right to their face, bounce it right into the side of their head. When you bounce it into the side of their head, stop. Bounce it into the side of their head, stop. They'll come out and spin around. And a lot of times that gets them so mad that they'll come up and they'll suck it in. Every single time I bounced it into the side, to the cheek of the fish. Did you hear that? Maybe I should have brought my frogging stick today. But every time I'd bounce it into the side of the cheek today, they'd spin around and they'd take. As always, guys, questions, comments in the comment section below. If I left anything out about, I know I wasn't doing a whole lot of talking about what I was doing when I was sight fishing, but, any question, guys, I'll answer everything totally 100% honestly. I'll answer every single comment anyway, so comments and questions in the comment section below. It does help to leave comments, guys, so if you don't mind, go ahead and do that, interaction and stuff. I like to interact with you anyway, so, just for my sake, leave comments. As always, like it if you like it. Don't forget to ring that bell when you get those notifications so these videos come out. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. I'm tired. I told you this. And as always, you guys rock.